You ever notice how some people get this strange satisfaction out of seeing you miserable? Like your unhappiness somehow fuels them? Yeah, this story is about that, and about how one woman flipped that script completely. It's about my old coworker, Natalie. We used to work at this mid-sized company, nothing glamorous, just your regular 9-to-5 grind. But what happened there? Man, it could have been straight out of The Office if The Office had a touch of psychological warfare. So, here's the setup. Natalie had two assistants working under and alongside her. Technically, they were supposed to help her with projects, do some independent work, and keep things running smoothly. She reported directly to the department manager. At first, it all seemed fine. They got along well enough. Inside jokes, morning coffees, the usual "we're all in this together" energy. But then something changed. One of the assistants, let's call her Amber, decided she wanted Natalie's position. And instead of, working hard and earning it, she went full mean girl. She and her partner in crime, Tracy, started scheming. They ran to management with every petty complaint imaginable. Natalie didn't copy us on this email. Natalie didn't say good morning. Natalie's tone seemed, aggressive. You get the picture. Meanwhile, a couple of other employees quit, which meant Natalie was suddenly doing the work of 3 people. She was exhausted, overworked, and drowning in stress, while these two stood by smirking, watching her crumble. And here's the messed up part. They loved it. The more drained she looked, the more they glowed. Natalie told me later, "I used to look at them and think, how did I ever consider these women my friends?" Weeks passed, and you could see the toll it was taking on her. The sparkle was gone, her hair was unkempt, she stopped wearing makeup, her clothes looked tired. She was a ghost of herself. Then one night, she hit rock bottom. She said she came home from work, dropped her bog, and just sat on her couch crying. And in that moment, she pictured those smirking faces, the way they lit up every time she looked defeated. And then, like a light bulb flickering on, she thought, wait a second, if my misery makes them happy, what happens if I flip the script? What if my happiness drives them crazy? The next morning, Natalie woke up with a plan. She took her time getting ready, brushed her hair until it shined, put on her nicest outfit, did her makeup, nothing too flashy, just confident. Then she looked in the mirror, smiled, and said, "Let's give them a show." When she walked into the office, it was like sunshine had entered the building. Big smile, cheerful energy, humming a tune like she didn't have a care in the world. She greeted everyone with warmth, chatted with her favorite coworker who just so happened to sit right next to Amber and Tracy, and laughed loudly, genuinely. And those two? They froze. I caught them exchanging this quick, panicked glance that basically screamed, "We're doomed!" That's when she knew it was working. Over the next few days, they tried everything to break her act. Amber started interrupting her non-stop, asking pointless questions, making little digs, trying to get under her skin. But Natalie, she didn't flinch. Every single time she turned around with a smile and said things like, "Oh, thank you so much for checking," or "Wow, that's such a great point." She said the disappointment on Amber's face was chef's kiss. Tracy tried to play it cool, but the tension was eating her alive. Meanwhile, Natalie doubled down, extra polite, extra cheerful, practically glowing with joy. Every please and thank you was sugar-coated to perfection, every smile was just a touch too nice, every compliment was just a touch too nice. And it worked. They were unraveling. Pretty soon, the rumor around the office was that Natalie must have had some secret meeting with management. People whispered that maybe she'd reported them, that maybe something big was coming. And then one day, the chaos hit full throttle. Amber stormed into the manager's office, red-faced, and started shouting, "You're gonna fire me anyway, aren't you?" No one had said anything about firing her, not a word. But she couldn't handle the psychological pressure, the mystery, the uncertainty, the happiness. A week later, she was gone. Fired. And Natalie hadn't said a single thing about her to anyone. Tracy? She went silent, barely made eye contact. She spent the rest of her time there walking on eggshells until Natalie eventually left for a better job. And that's the wild part. Natalie didn't have to stoop to their level. She didn't need revenge in the traditional sense. She didn't plot. She didn't tattletale. She didn't scream. She just smiled. And it destroyed them. When she told me the story over lunch one day, she laughed and said, "It's amazing, isn't it? I didn't have to be cruel. I just had to be happy. That was enough." And honestly, she was right. There's a strange, beautiful power in that. So yeah, happiness really is the best revenge. Because when someone's joy depends on seeing you miserable, nothing breaks them faster than realizing they don't have that power anymore. So, if you've ever had toxic coworkers or people who thrive on drama, you know that feeling of wanting to clap back, to expose them, to get even. But sometimes, the most devastating thing you can do is smile. So, if you're loving stories like this, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. I've got plenty more where this came from. Because sometimes, the quietest revenge is the loudest victory. And Natalie? She walked out of that place not angry, not bitter, just free. And trust me, she looked amazing doing it.